This past summer and fall, I left beautiful Los Angeles, California to embark on a 2.5-month journey throughout Asia. Whether it's with my friends, my family, or myself, each destination and experience was unforgettable and inspirational in its own way. 10 countries, 27 cities, 17 planes, and countless trains, buses, car rides, and walks. Oh, and a lifetime of memories. And you're coming along with me for the ride. Our third stop, Singapore. The city and country are beautiful. The country is pretty developed and its well-enforced laws keep it super clean. With that being said, it also has one of the highest standards of living in the world, unlike most of Southeast Asia. In about 3 days, I spent around $500. However, because it's a pretty small country, a few days is just enough for its stunning attractions. Our first night, we walked all around the city, which was amazing considering the city was pretty lit up and lively and most of the attractions were walking distance from each other. We ended up in Quay, which is a historical riverside quay full of bars with live music, restaurants, and fun rides. We took a riverboat cruise for 25 Singaporean dollars that took us around historical buildings and sites like Marina Bay Sands, which is this amazing hotel with a cruise ship facade on top, inspired by the Joan of Arc. This world-famous hotel is definitely a sight to see in person, and its infinity pool, which is now only open to guests, is something I definitely want to come back for someday. Afterwards, we walked to the Super Tree Grove, which is basically an installment of a bunch of lit-up man-made trees and is part of a larger attraction called Gardens by the Bay. Sadly, we went too late, so we couldn't see the rest of the Gardens by the Bay nor walk on the Skyway, which is basically a walkway 22 meters high that winds around the trees and gives you a magnificent skyline view of the city. I love skyline views, so I was really bummed it was closed. For dinner, we ate the famous Singaporean dish called Hainan chicken, even though I was the only one who ordered something else. The next morning, we went to Saya Center to eat. It's basically a pretty big food court serving all types of multicultural food for only a few bucks. My noodles were only 3 Singaporean dollars. After a filling brunch, we headed for a full day at Sentosa Island, which is an island that has basically been converted to a huge amusement park and resort. The basic admission cost is the cost to get to the island, either via train or cable car. We took the train for 4 Singaporean dollars per person. Now to actually do anything, you have to buy a package. We decided to do 4 attractions, which I think was around 95 Singaporean dollars. We first went ziplining, but because I've done it several times before, it wasn't worth it for me because it's only one line. However, it was super long and the view was really pretty as it changed from greenery to beautiful beachfronts. I also bought an additional feature where I got to bungee drop off a 5-story cliff. I'm terrified of free falling, so I was being over dramatic about it, but it wasn't that bad. LOL. But it was still a bit scary, so I'm glad I decided not to do real bungee jumping in Malaysia. Next, we went to SEA Aquarium. I mean, yeah, it's an aquarium, so there's not much to say about it, except that there was a pretty cool exhibit of the history of different cultures and their artifacts at the entrance. What it has to do with an aquarium, I do not know. But again, Singapore's high standards make the aquarium a standout because it's huge and we actually spent most of our day there. Afterwards, we went to the Trick Eye Museum, which is like a 3D museum that's basically built for selfies. It's pretty cool though, because some of the illusions look pretty real. At dusk, we went on a cable car across the island, which was beautiful. And it came with a free driving ride, which was also fun. All in all, it was fun, but I'm not sure if I'd come back as the prices are a bit steep, and we also had a bad experience with the operations of the resort, leading us to go back and forth, getting a refund, and getting yelled at by people behind us in line in 2 different instances. Unfortunately, those experiences led our impression of some Singaporeans as rude and impatient. On our last day, we visited the famous Singapore Zoo. There are 4 different parks, so we got the package with admission to all 4 parks, even though we only went to 3 parks for 69 Singaporean dollars. We didn't visit the bird park, and I also don't recommend the river safari, only because we didn't really see any animals, like at all. So it may be more worth it for you to get the 2-park safari package. This zoo has all sorts of exotic animals. My favorites were seeing the monkeys play with each other and seeing one of my favorite animals, the panda. We also went on a water ride for about 5 Singaporean dollars that was pretty fun. Again, this zoo is huge, so be prepared to feel exhausted by the end of the day. Thanks for joining me in Singapore. Can you guess where I'm off to next? You'll have to find out next week. Check out my latest travel pictures on Instagram and to see when the next video is up. In the meantime, check out one of my last videos. Bye!